Purgo Box is a bizarre free horror RPG maker game available on Steam. Released in 2021, it combines a surreal art style and weird music with a creepy, unsettling atmosphere. It's massive for a single dev game, with over 75 discrete rooms, weird characters to meet, and cryptic puzzles to solve. It's also a highly mysterious game, boasting over 10 endings, but with very little out there to help explain the mechanics, where you should go, or what you should do. Despite my best efforts, I wasn't able to even scratch the surface of this mystery, as there's very little information to be had on the Steam forum or on the wiki. So stay a while and listen as I stumble through a surreal and creepy experience, and maybe you can succeed where I couldn't. The game begins in this nondescript white room. This is us. Our name is Menoko. Why we're here and what we're doing has to be inferred from the NPC dialogue. Stepping out of the room into this dark hallway, we can meet two characters. This girl tells us to go speak to Moo, this giant head here who scolds us and tells us we need to catch up on our quota and help bring about the production of the human pill octopus virus. And with that tiny amount of exposition, we're set loose to explore on our own. The first thing that struck me as I started exploring was the bizarre visual style. The game features these unsettling hand-drawn assets like this creepy guy hanging from the ceiling, or these characters that you can talk to. On the other hand, plenty of rooms and characters go with this collage type of style. This monstrosity, for example, is actually a doctor who will remove our brain and chest bugs for the low price of verbal abuse. Some scenes like this one are abstract to the max, but others like these are a little graphic. I'm covering it up, but this is actually a character that you can speak to. Its body features a scissor being poked into something. I don't know if it's actual skin or what, so I'm just gonna stay on the safe side. Other scenes I'm covering up because it's maybe just a little suggestive of certain body parts. Goatsy room. As I said before, the game is absolutely massive. I did the best I could to map out every room I could find. Some rooms are one way only, and some places like this area here I was just never able to get back to. This dark blue hallway seems to be a drain point, with many other areas emptying out back here. Still other areas like these red and purple voids just seem to have tiled backgrounds without a clear entrance or exit. I stumbled around blindly, picking up whatever I could find until I got warped somewhere else. There's even some scares here and there, like this hallway right here. If nothing else, it makes the game great fun simply to explore because you're never quite sure what's going to happen. The game has plenty of NPCs you can talk to. Some characters like these pills for heads and these weird faces just give flavor text, but other NPCs work on a mechanic I call favorability. Some characters are interested in one or more specific items. Chisui, the idol here, likes flowers, among other things. While this unsettling guy wants the red impure souls that you find littered all over the game. The rat that lives in this hole in the wall wants cheese, while Moo wants boxes. Build up a certain amount of favorability and it usually unlocks something else, like a new item, a new ability, a new area, or even an ending. Another mechanic is simply referred to as nausea. Menoko will hallucinate after a while if she doesn't take her medication. We can get pills in a few different ways, such as trauma dumping on this counselor. Due to the fact that there's lots of non-standard things to interact with, I actually ended up using both a controller and a mouse to play the game. The controller to move around, and the mouse to talk to people and interact with things. This is important in rooms like this. This black hole up here is actually a separate exit that I couldn't reach with just the controller. In fact, it was really tough for me to get an actual handle on what's going on in the game and why. This is not just because I get the feeling the dev wanted the game to be mostly vibes-based, but there's also a language barrier component. Despite Moo giving us a quest of sorts, there's almost no explicitly mentioned context about the world, what anything is or why anything is. Instead, some characters may give you objectives or you might find quest hooks. For example, this person here seems to be having trouble with maggots coming out of their back. Their words, not mine. So they send us to the hospital to ask for medicine. Others appear to only exist until you can increase their favorability enough for them to give you something else that's important. This felt like a good time to ask other players in the game if they knew anything. Oh yeah, did I mention the game is online? Bet you didn't know you could do that in RPG Maker. But yes, this chat here is legitimately showing people chatting, and the other box here shows who's online right now. I suppose it's a good way to try and find out more about the game and maybe work together, but unfortunately nobody seemed really willing to talk to me. One ability I managed to unlock was the ability to throw items away. I wonder if this was meant to be a way to give items to other players. Other online features in this game include leaderboards of sorts, like this giant red soul in the woods. I have no idea how this player was able to contribute so many souls, as resources in the game seem very limited. Limitation of resources is a major issue I had in the game. It's not enough to simply give a few points worth of items to a given NPC. You often need to give them 50, 100, or even 1,000 or more points worth of items in order to get something you need to go do something else in the game. One questline I managed to discover involves the earlier mentioned Chisui the Idol. When we start the game, the gate to the stage is locked, but later we find it open. Picking a picture up off the ground, a random guy realizes that we're a fan and gives us a bouquet of flowers to give her. If we give the flowers to the security guard, he leaves just long enough for us to grab some pantsu. Give these back to the guard when Chisui isn't performing and he tells us he has to leave to go do something. Now we can make friends, and if her favorability is high enough, we could actually visit the CEO of the idol agency that she works for. The problem was that I ran out of things to give her and never found a quick or easy way to get more. Similarly, the hanging red guy, I don't think he has a name, wants red souls, but the amount needed until he gives you an item is hidden from you. Red souls are found just lying around at first, but eventually they become scarce. I found myself reloading a save to try and see what that magic number of souls was to give the guy, so I didn't give away too many and lose the excess. Multiple other characters want those souls, like this girl here will give you a blue soul for every 10 red souls. Or this horrible thing that will trade you all kinds of nice stuff. As for other tradable items, this guy wants us to give him rope to raise a fallen drawbridge, but the amount you need isn't clear. Turns out you need 22, which is oddly specific and annoying as hell. I also want to point out that there aren't multiple save slots in the game that I could tell, so you either have to min-max the resources you have, or there's got to be some way to generate more. I just couldn't figure out how. Can we take a second to talk about the music? I've already mentioned the creepy atmosphere bolstered by weird ambient tracks like this, or more stereotypical horror tracks like this. Some of these tracks feel right at home in a 3-hour lo-fi study and chill compilation. Pre-AI, of course. But this scene with Chisui on stage really takes the cake with these awesome tracks featuring guitar and Vocaloid lyrics. In fact, I recommend checking out the game for the sound and the ambiance alone. Now, as for making progress, unfortunately, this game appears to be one of those mysteries of the internet, as there's very little to go on in the Steam forums, and the wiki is largely empty, with a few bits of useful information just here and there. This girl Kasumi here, who trades 1 blue soul for 10 red, gave me a knife as a reward for making enough trades, but I couldn't figure out what to use it on. There's a guy next to a downed plane in the woods outside the clinic. He says he'll give you a ride if you manage to get back his plane parts, but this one particular part I simply couldn't get, no matter what I did. There's probably a back way into this side of the screen that I don't know about, but where? One of the least surreal parts of the game include this prison of sorts populated by nothing but birdmen. You can beat them up for something called prison currency, that you can then use to gain favor with the heads of the 3 bird gangs: red, blue, and black. Looking at this secret leaderboard in this room here, it feels like this person either spent weeks farming prison currency, or they automated the process somehow. Getting the boss's favor up to 1,000 only makes the birds respawn faster, so it beats me what I'm supposed to do here. I found this sad girl who lives alone in a filthy apartment. We have the option of buying her something with the prison currency, but I can't even tell what I'm picking up here. Finally, I was able to create a little baby pillhead person by using one of these blue souls in the box where we first start, but to what end, I don't know. So, here it is. This is as far as I got. As you can see, I barely scratched the surface. The wiki speaks of golden souls, a notepad where you can see all your favorability ratings, cooking, and even housing you can buy. So once again, I find myself turning it to you guys to go forth and find what I couldn't. Supposedly, this game has a number of different endings based on who you build the most favor with, so there's plenty to explore and there's plenty of secrets it doesn't seem like anyone knows about. Check it out sometime, and if you find something awesome, would you please let me know what you found? Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I love the weird, unusual, and surreal indie games, so let me know in the comments if you find something you think would fit in well on this channel. And if you want to see another game that totally bamboozled my brain, check out this video right over here. Alright, see you next time.